Oh, good. We're live. Hi, in Duzone. Multi-class safety sounds like we found new ways to segfault. What do you want safety tips or emotional support?
It's already going off the rails. Yikes, bud. Wrong voice. I don't know how he activated it. All right, well, we're just gonna have to go with it. We're gonna go with it. Fired up. Oh. Okay, and now I understand what happened. He responded to stream elements. That's pretty cute. Wait, we need this one. All right. Let the cat out of the bag, though, huh?
Dyson. My cat's breath smells like cat food.
All right. Hello, hello. So, oh, wait. Oh, well, no, not yet. Maybe we can do it. Okay. Sorry. A little all over the place, aren't I? Let me pull this up. All right. Yeah. It is. Oh, boy. Come back to that later. Okay. In here. Okay, there we go. All right, so first thing, let's announce the stream. And let's see if we can use the new guy to do it. It should work. It should work. I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to try it. Hey, Dyson, please announce the stream. Oh.
Fine. Ahem. Potato No is live VY11. Hello, Dyson, and multi-class safety. Come watch software and game dev happen in real time. Or don't.
Go. It worked. There's the new character that we were working on last. Oh.
Oh, great. Another bot doing announcements. Keep it cute, Dyson, but if you start spamming links, I'm gonna accidentally drop you in DevNull. Anyway, hey, chat multi-class safety, like segfaults, but with paperwork.
Interesting side effect. There's this concept in the chat thing of if I am continuing a conversation. And so if I trigger a conversation with one character and then I say a word that suggests I'm continuing that conversation, the other character comes in, the first one. So that's something I'm going to have to work on, because otherwise I can't like have a continued conversation with the new character. But it seems like a pretty minor thing. I just got to have some context. So yeah, that was that. We did that. Let's pull this thing up. So that's what we were working on sort of while we were doing other stuff, while we were waiting for Claude to do work. We were working on
We're waiting.
Yeah, waiting. We were working on these guys. I hand drew all these, right?
Well, we're waiting.
I know. I hand drew all those, and then brought them into Illustrator. I traced over them, and then created all the different output files. And then I did a bunch of work with the eyes. And now we have a new character, and a new voice, and a new act sound, and some other stuff. So it's fun. We'll see how it goes today. It'll probably fly off the rails. I'll probably do a little bit of work on the code while I'm doing other stuff. But the main thing we want to work on today is we did a bunch of stuff around validating whether or not the pipeline going from detect people and then cropping those people and then detect the faces within the people, whether or not that was better than detect people and then on a separate pass completely detect faces all by themselves. And it turns out that for some models, the two-step, the crop works better. So for media pipe, the crop works better. But if I'm going to use YOLO, I'm using it for people detection. If I'm going to use it for face detection as well, YOLO V8 face, then it works better as two separate passes, but high res. And that actually ends up being faster. So future thing to do is see if I can retrain YOLO to multi-class all the things, do it in a single pass, and then move forward. And that'll be better for real-time applications and stuff like that, but I'll come back to that. So today, well, first we gotta do roast orange bud. Oh, come on, shape. I had a very productive weekend, so we'll talk about that. We are going to probably play around with Dyson a little more. Because I'm kind of excited about it. That was part of my weekend. And then we're going to get back to our pipeline, and we're going to see if sort of the separate passes. We only tested our separate passes on our existing corpus of stuff from baseball games. So we need to do it on our safety stuff. And then I think if I have time, and we don't go down a rabbit hole on that, which we might go down a pretty deep rabbit hole on that and keep going. But if we don't, then I want to start to think more about how we mine more data from YouTube or television or something to increase our safety. Or maybe even like there are a bunch of online cameras. Maybe we just like start DVRing online cameras everywhere where there's lots of people and see if we can find stuff that way. It seems like a pretty stretch, but we need more samples for safety. And we actually have a intern coming on, our first Vi intern, which is exciting. He's coming on, I think next week, soon. He's going to help us for the summer, and he's going to be working on creating synthetic safety samples, either through using simulation software. There's a piece of simulation software from NVIDIA called Isaac Sim. He's going to be doing that. Or if we have to really get sort of analog about it, getting buddies to go out and like act, like literally act in front of cameras. It may come to that. So that's that. Let's do roast orange bud. Let's do our first thing. Okay, roses. Oh my God. This weekend, I did so many things. I had the most productive weekend I think I've ever had. Let's enumerate. First on Friday, we did an LED class with Wyatt and a neighbor. We made a really cool thing. Ooh, let me pull it up. I want to show you guys. We've been talking about doing this for a little while. and I finally got everyone together, and we made this. This is a very rough cut. I haven't like finished this. Oh. You go away. Okay, there we go. This is a very rough cut. But this is LED strips being driven. These are WS2812 LED strips being driven by CircuitPython, which I've never played with before. And we taught the kids how to use a breadboard, how to get stuff going in CircuitPython, how to change some sample code in order to make different things. This box on the outside that you're seeing here is laser cut. This core in the middle is a diffuser, 3D printed, and then inside that is another core with an LED strip wrapped around it. That's also 3D printed. Came out really nice. It's very ugly with the tape. I gotta like clean it up, but like it looks really very good with the diffuser. It looks awesome. So that was that. So like LED stuff. Okay, that's one. Then we had a tag sale over the weekend here in the neighborhood. That was cool. That was mostly Angela's doing. I can't claim credit for that, but it went really well. So I'm gonna put it as a rose tag sale. I helped a little bit. I set the stuff up and stuff. What else did I do? Oh my god. I washed the garage doors. I created these like I dug up where the sprinklers were flooding, and then we had these like poles that were holding up lights, and I put them in a flower planter and cemented the flower planter. So backyard stuff. It's still ongoing, but and then I did just like a bunch of outdoor cleaning. I cleaned the garage. I cleaned the garage, not the garage inside, the garage outside. The garage doors were really gross. They were disgusting. Maybe I can show you that one. Oh yeah, let me show. Oh, hang on. Let's show you guys some more of this. Hope my neighbor doesn't get mad for showing. There's Wyatt. There are the kids working on it. There's us working. There's one of the prototypes. This is a paper prototype. So the diffuser's paper here. And this is the other project I did. I plumbed in our espresso maker. That was a whole other project. I'm trying to find I can't find the one of the garages. I'm gonna stop going through photos before I get to one I shouldn't show you. Let me go back here. Okay. So let's go back to our enumeration. Plumbing the coffee maker. That was cool. I got to use a diamond drill tip to drill through the granite countertop. Never done that before. Yeah, just tons of stuff. Very good weekend. I liked doing all those things. Thorns. I'm kind of like tired. That's the downside of having a productive weekend. You come into Monday and you're like, I'm kind of tired now. Is it the weekend again yet? We're getting through though. We're getting through. Oh yeah, Dyson. We did that too. I forgot about that. Dyson. Did that also on Sunday. That went much more smoothly than I thought it was going to be. And I still need to review. I did use some Claude for the code. I've been trying not to use Claude for code that I wrote from the beginning and only use it for like lightweight stuff. Don't write whole things. But I was also just trying to get it done, so I let it do more than I probably wanted to. I need to go back and review that. We might do some of that today. What else are thorns? I don't really know of any other things. Oh, I guess the sprinkler flooding thing is still a thorn. So we dug up. No, the sprinklers come on a timer, and there's a pole somewhere. And I thought I knew where it was, and I dug up the thing. And we have a company that comes out and like helps us with this stuff. I don't do it all myself. Dug up the hole where I thought the hole was, and it wasn't leaking. And we ran the thing, we turned on the zones or whatever, and nothing was leaking. I'm like, oh, they must have come out when we weren't here and just fixed it. They saw it was an issue. Okay, great. one less thing on my list. But then Monday morning, I was looking out and it was flooding again. So we still don't know what's happening. They're coming out on Thursday. They're going to figure that out. So flooding. I really hate when water things happen. Water things are like my worst fear as a homeowner. As anything, really. I hate water coming into places where it should not go. My biggest sort of pet peeve. So that's a thorn. I don't like that. Buds, I'm excited about new character stuff and continuing to work on the meta chat stuff. I know it's a little bit of a distraction from work, but I'm having fun with it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. It's important to keep yourself engaged and motivated. But I am excited about the progress. I'm really excited about the progress we're making on the pipeline. It feels like, it's awesome when you learn something unexpected and it makes everything better when you fix it. So, unexpected problems create overall improvement, I guess. And so I'm just gonna put pipeline improvements. Sorry? That's good. That's the real story about it. It's a lot. All right, now let's post it. Gotta lick my lips, gotta be ready. Hey, Bobby, please take a screenshot.
Saved. Boss https://jplt.com's Clips Hotech site improvement 821 JPG also. Water leaks can go kick rocks him not mopping your sprinkler drama again.
Hey, Bobby, please share the screenshot. Done. Oh, but that thing is on the top again.
Fine, screenshot shared. Also, water problems are just your house auditioning for indoor pool the nightmare cut.
How did we solve this last time? We solved this. What did I do last time? Let me go back and look. Oh, I moved it. And then it got moved back. Oh, right. We need it on this view. We need it on this view now. Okay, I gotta remember that. We gotta be on this view. The iPad focus view scene. All right, let's try it again. Let's try with the other character, okay? All right, here we go. Hey, Dyson, please take a screenshot.
Sci-Fine. Screenshot taken in dumb tier https://jplt.com's clips hot piping net problems 185.jpg.
Hey, Dyson, please share the screenshot.
Ugh. Fine. Screenshot shared. If it's the wrong view again, that's on you.
Okay. There you go. Haha. Oh my god. At least I amuse myself.
Dyson chatbot. Wow, bold for a bot who's literally a vacuum with opinions. Potate, oh no. Screenshot taken, and shared also good luck with the mystery flood. Water belongs outside, like Dyson chatbot's takes. Dyson chatbot, congrats on contributing nothing. Potate, oh no. I grabbed the screenshot and posted Itapad focus view, correct this time. If the sprinklers flood again Thursday, I'm bringing a tiny canoe.
I think she's jealous. She really doesn't like the new person. But again, we need to work on our activation stuff. That's the next time we have a stream that's focused on the co-streamer app. activation is the biggest thing. Like, we're not getting good first activations. It requires too much of a trigger word, and the follow-on activations need context so that I can have a continued conversation. Those are easy. Those are easy. All right, let's go back to to-do. Nope, doing the wrong thing. Okay, you go here. You go here. Haha. There we go. Let's make this nice. Let's make it red. There you go. Done. All right, I like that. Okay. Oh, next was to play around with the thing. All right, well, maybe we do that now. Maybe we play around with it. So one of the things I did. So let me back up. My two PCs, you know, I really would love if I could just run Linux for everything. But the problem is that Linux does not get along well with two things in particular. In video cards, it does okay. It's gotten better. It's still not great. But the other thing it does not do a good job of at all is the capture cards. You got to have like either the most expensive capture card ever made. That works great, but I don't have that. Or there's like crazy, I figured out how to port the binary Windows driver into Linux, and it kind of works for me. Your mileage will vary, and it does vary, and I've never gotten that to work. So I generally have everything in Windows, and you know, I use my primary PC we're looking at now. This is my gaming PC, but it's also my work PC, but you know, I do game on it. And there are games that don't play well in Linux. It's gotten better. Most of them work, but if it has anti-cheat, like you want to play Destiny or something like that, no bueno. So, my streaming PC is also Windows because of all the aforementioned capture stuff. Reason why I'm telling you this is when I'm running the CoStreamer app, it has to actually run in Windows, not WSL. It has to run in Windows because I'm using Pygame. Pygame needs to not run through a sort of WSL GUI abstraction X window terrible thing. So that makes it hard to edit. If I want to edit using Visual Studio Code and I want to do it remotely because on my screen, my streaming PC screen's over here. I don't want to stare over here. I want to stare right here. If I want to do that, I need to use remoting. I need to use SSH. And so what I did yesterday is I've been trying to use SSH to WSL and then use there's like a Mount C. You can get to your Windows partition, but it's very slow and clunky. It does not work. I had it all on our NAS. That also doesn't work because permissions get all screwed up. It's a big problem. I don't know why file sharing is still so hard. Anyway, what I did yesterday was set up a second SSH server on my streaming PC in Windows. So now I can properly edit the actual instance that runs on the streaming PC. And we can do more stuff more easily. That was the long way to tell you that I can actually edit the thing. It's not a giant heading anymore. So what we're going to do, since the stage 2 is play around with Dyson, we're going to do two minor things, and then we're going to move on. Number 1, we've got this new code that I have not even reviewed yet. That is this chatbot manager. The chatbot manager, I think, on message, right? So what this thing does. All right. Okay, so here's the place. This is kind of a mess. This is the problem when you don't write your own code. You're like, what are you doing? So what this thing does is, so we've got each. So what the way this works is, Chatbot Manager is sort of like a proxy, and inside the actual main code, this is the main thing, it now has Chatbot Manager instead of Chatbot. So Chatbot Manager tries to figure out, I said Chatbot. I said so Chatbot.
Oh, so Bob's been promoted to manager now, congrats, I guess. If it routes messages to the right chatbot instance, cool, just don't let it turn into a spaghetti proxy. Also, Sean Windows for editing painful, but honestly, the least worst option. Yeah, welcome to I didn't write this, so it's obviously cursed. Chatbot Manager being a proxy is fine on_message, should just route to the right chatbot instance. But please tell me it's not doing weird dynamic imports and vibes-based dependency injection again last time pod 8, oh no, try that. I aged 3 CPU cycles.
Okay, so should reply will return a string containing context to pass into the LLM. We also want to hold on to the last known character in case multiple should replies come back true, as in continuing a conversation. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what we're going to do, because in here, in should reply, so each one of these has like a little like thing, little object that it comes back with sort of the context. Why are you replying? Right? One of these continued here. Is discussion continued? Replying to a continued discussion. Result, type discussion, prompt, reply to a continued discussion. I'm going to say character last. Okay. Now, should I call it character last or should I call it something else? I'm trying to think if there are other. Let's just call it. Yeah, let's just call it last. Okay. So now, config order breaks ties. Okay, so here's what needs to happen. We have a winner. Where's a winner? Find winner. Oh, it's right. That's the first time. Okay. So what we're going to do, Chatbot Manager is going to have, oh, this is a lot of things, sir. Oh my god. That needs to be cleaned up. Self last character equals none. Okay? Now, in here, winner, if addressed, directly addressed character wins, config order breaks ties. If addressed, if ambient, how do we know if is addressed? Okay, what is this? This is a new thing. You added it is addressed, is activated, or is talking to me. Okay.
You talking to me? Well, then who the hell else are you talking? You talking to me?
Okay. Okay. I see what it's doing here. Okay, so we're gonna do this a little bit differently. If multiple characters are addressed, then use the last one if last character is a set. Otherwise, go with the first one. If len addressed is greater than 1, What? No, you can just use the character. Because they could have different contexts, I guess. I mean, technically, I guess. All right, we need to move this into a new method because this is getting messy. Def. Choose winner. Self candidates. Now is back up. Ambient context, dress depend. Oh well, wait. It's got both of these things in it. Okay, fine. I see. You don't. Okay. It's going to return just last character. Yeah. Oh, so I think the problem is that I have. We gotta change this name. It's getting tripped up by this last character name. Last character. Okay, this is going to be last winner. We'll call it last winner. Okay. Maybe I don't need a new. Okay. Oh God. Where are we? What's happening? Do that. Okay. Go back up here. Here. Last winner. Okay. Here. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to call this actually if self last winner. And then we're going to change the name of this. Nope. Come on, F2. Oh. Last addressed, because that's what it's called. It's an array of an addressed. Okay? This is last addressed. Okay? Addressed. Then return last self last addressed. Okay? And then wait. Addressed is greater than 0. And okay. Greater than 1. Oh my God, I'm real bad at this. All right. What we want is winner context is equal to that. Okay? Else winner context is equal to addressed 0. Okay? Okay. Oh my gosh, that was like really hard. I don't know why it was so hard. Okay. Ah, yes. Thank you. You need that. Okay. Rusty. This is why, you know, it's true, man. These agents melt our brains. All right. So that was that. And then the other thing I wanted to do was activation is activated. Here we go. Now here, I think what I'm going to do is just make the prefix optional. So I can just say their name. Because that's what I frequently want to do, is just say their name and then go on, right? But if there's a word before what I'm trying to activate, then maybe we say, like, it's got to be one of these words. It's kind of stupid because, you know, we've got this whole anti-activation pattern as well. No, I don't want that. And so you kind of only need one. It's like I have allow and deny. You know what I mean? So I should probably, I really should just be the name unless it's anti-activated. But let's start with here. Start with here. Let's start with this, and then we'll move on. Okay? We'll move on. So let me kill this guy. Let me kill this guy. Restart this guy. Now the test here is going to be if I can just say a name that activates the correct one. And then the other test is going to be if I can continue the conversation and it comes back with that same person. So let's try that. Dyson, please tell me a joke. I said please, so it might break.
Sci-Fine. Why did the programmer quit their job? Because they didn't get a raise.
You know, that was a pretty good joke, Dyson.
Yeah, I heard you. Glad one joke met your standards.
Got any more for me that you want to tell me? You want to tell me another one? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I've got one more. Why do programmers hate nature too many bugs? Fine. Why do programmers hate nature too many bugs?
Okay, there you go. So it's working. Very good. Very good.
Cool. Your regex didn't explode. Another joke, I told my code to be more stable. It started throwing exceptions out of spite. Anything else you want to poke until it breaks.
Good. All right. Check another box. Boom. All right, let's get back to this work. Let's get back to this work. All right. So, I think we left off here, and I want to this is where we left off. We've now got a complete decision grade answer. Should I record the characterization sharpness findings and then mark down stage the new two scripts for you to commit? Okay. Picking this up from after the weekend break. Yes, let's please record findings and stage, and I'll commit, and we'll start a new conversation for the next task. I'm curious how people would feel about my process with creating the new character. Is in that, it started out as a generated piece of art. People are really kind of anti that, even though I can't art and I wouldn't represent what I did as art. I just needed a thing. But then I spent a bunch of time editing it, hand drawing a bunch of stuff, tracing that stuff, adding it back in, working on the eyes, all that kind of stuff. You can still tell, but there is an element of me in there too. So now is that past muster, or is that still slop? Is that still garbage? I mean, I spent hours on it, so I don't know how you could call it slop. But maybe it is. I don't know. There are many things, the thing is I understand the frustration people have with some of these new tools, but also there are many things that people just can't do. There's so many people who I know, and I've said this before and I'll say it's worth repeating. There's so many people I know who are sort of never could make the leap, very technical, could never make the leap into code. And now really, I think, are using a computer for the very first time. I don't think you are really using a computer until you can actually write your own code for it. And now they're doing that. And they couldn't do that before. They couldn't get past sort of that fear barrier or that ability barrier. For me, with doing art, I just don't have the ability to do it. I suppose if I kept at it for a long time, I'd get better at it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, here, recorded in stage, over to me to commit. Great. Okay. So let me go over here and commit this code. Okay. Okay. I like how it stages these for me, actually. That's pretty cool. Wrapping up exercise 2. Found that 2 full frame high res passes works better than the person to crop to face pattern. At least when using YOLO. Okay, I'm gonna have to push. I'm not gonna push. All right, so that's that. All right, so next. Let me start a new conversation. Okay. Starting a new conversation to decide on next steps. We left off completing X012, and we can move on to X013, or I think it might be worthwhile to see how our current implementation fares, F-A-R-E-S, affairs with the safety profile sample set. Can you review where we're at and let me know if you think we're ready to proceed with a test like that? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. See, I need a second thing to do. The working on the character stuff was really great because it was like this nice analog. Let me just pick up a pencil and keep going on this thing while this thing is thinking about stuff. That was very good. That was very useful. Okay, here we go. Untracked, consistent. Yeah, go ahead, run it. Yeah, take a look. Take a look. It's in a book. Oh, that's going on. Here, I'll show you. Here's the work I did. Here's all the eye work I did. Can't really see it because it's just a dot and eyebrows, but I made all these different positions for these things. And then here's the mouth work I did. So this is I drew these with pencil and then traced them all. These are the Visems. I think they came out nice. And then here's the blank. Here's the body. That's how that works. And then the ack is the ack sound from this one, but I just went and did stuff with in Audacity. And that sound, the original act sound, is actually Wyatt's voice. Going ding, and then Audacity mucking it up. I'm having really a lot of fun with that stuff. I kind of want to add even more now. I want to do a whole cast. But then I need to do more work on how they they need to be able to interact. That's going to be tricky because you don't want to get into an endless loop. So I'm going to have to figure that one out. They already kind of do. I really like how, if I say something to one and then the other one picks up on it, especially, our friend Bobby, she does not like him. Oh, the anti-activation didn't work. Anti-activation didn't work. Is she actually going to respond though? What happened here? What happened here? Was that a manager thing? Maybe. Let's go in the logs over here. She's stuck, it seems like. Oh, you know what this is? You know what this is? Although it didn't. Okay. I know what this is. So there are two things. Yeah, is activated is false. Is anti-activated is false. That's what's interesting there. Because the anti-activation should have triggered. Oh, there it is anti-activated. So what's happening here is, it's not an error, actually. It's not an error. What needs to happen, this is a bug. What needs to happen is, and I don't know how you fix this. I guess you just ding and then go away. So what happens is if I say one of their names, they immediately trigger the ack, which is the spinning eyes and that sound. So that way you know stuff is going to happen. You're waiting for it to happen because it takes a while to do the full loop. But then if should reply comes back with no, we need to turn off the ack. Turn off this thing. So That's the thing we gotta fix. That's the thing we gotta fix. Let's go back and see where we're at on this guy before we move on to any of that stuff. All right. Which safety corpus run do you want? Wire in X2 at... Okay, so that's what I was afraid of. So this isn't in VES yet. So here's what I want to do. Other. So X012 hasn't been... so the pattern used by X012 isn't available in VES yet. Before we move on, I want to do a full plan session on that integration. And review on that integration. Okay. Understood. The X012 proven pattern, full frame YOLO V8 face plus 50 pixel floor lives only in throwaway experiment scripts. It was never integrated. Before anything else, basically, want a proper plan and review that integration and research? Yes, please do that. Just have some.
Do you want some coffee, Mr. Tully?
Do I?
Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
Okay, so what needs to happen? Is back? No. So where is... back? Where's the ACK happening? There's TTS ACK. Make sure we're in ACK mode if we're using TTS. Where else is ACK happening? I see. It happens at a different place. It happens at a different place entirely, which is going to be... Well, wait. Is TTS, in this case, Avatar? No, it is not. Okay. They're separate. Okay, so I believe what's happening... Let's go look in Avatar. Find ACK. Oh my god. Okay, here's ACK sound. There's ACK. Yep. There's ACK. Okay, here's the ACK. And how do I turn off ACK? Process ACK. Tick. Loop. Huh. Is ACK equals false? I see. Oh, I see. The first time it says anything, it turns off ACK. Okay. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to say no ACK. Self. Character.
Okay, so you found ACK toggling itself off after first speak. Classic helpful state machine. Plan add a single source of truth for ACK shared flag. Route Sevator through it. Then integrate the X012 pattern behind a feature toggle. Also, Noack South character Bobby sounds like a cursed spell from our last fiasco.
What are you even talking about? Sir. And I think...
I'm talking about your act flag being duplicated in TDS and Avatar. Unify it one state, one place to flip it, both systems listen. Then add the X012 logic behind a toggle so experiments stay quarantined. Also, yes, your phrase sounded like summoning me.
Yes. Okay. Got it. All right, so should reply. Okay. So here, else. Self-avatar. Self-avatar, no ack. Now here's a problem. We're gonna need to know, oh right, yeah, of course, yeah. We're gonna need to know I guess it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So in here, we're actually gonna make this we don't actually care who the character is. All right. So, I want to do those things unless we're in an act state. Okay. Now, we're going to go back here. How far should this integration go? No. No, I want a configurable. What's the independent deployment project? Okay. Very good. All right, so now we did a thing over here. So let's make sure we're saved. Yes, we are. All right, let's kill you. Let's do you. There we go. Hello. Okay, so now the way we're going to test this is we got to use an anti-activation pattern. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to say, you know, our friend Bobby. Didn't work. So we need a little more. Need a little more stuff. Also, you know what? While I'm in here, I think I need to let's put a log here. Self log debug. Disabling or revoking ACK for a non-reply. Okay. And then while I'm in here, there's a bunch of like extra logs that I just don't need anymore. There's so many things that say things. Let's look at the log real quick. Look There's so much noise in here. All this connection info, heartbeat, all that stuff. That can all go. That's all working. We don't need any more debug on that. So was that a restream? WebSocket enable trace. I think it's this. This is not me. Yeah, I think that's it. All right, let's try it again. Okay, now back here. Where are you at? All right, now we're in plan. Okay, let's take a look at the plan we got here. Okay. 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 Should these be instance member variables instead of passed into the method? Should this be on the conf too? Should these be part of the instance object? The object's instance really is what I wanted to say. It's what I should have said. It really likes to, one thing I've noticed, and I guess I can understand because it's sort of like the, Restream is still puking out a ton of info, man. I can understand, where's, okay, so, is there an info in here? There's this author text, that's that. Aha, there it is, there's the nonsense. Okay. You know what, just get rid of it. Okay. I can understand why the agents want to use arguments because it's like a little bit safer, you know? It feels like it's like false safety, I guess. You're modifying less. But yeah. All right, so you do that. Okay, we redo this. All right, now I'm gonna look at your plan again. Look at your plan again. Okay. Mm-hmm. Do it. All right, what am I doing next? Oh yeah, I was rerunning this and we're trying to figure out why the anti-activation pattern didn't work. And I think I need a quick All right. So we're going to use anti-activation, which means we're going to say something like our friend. Okay. So I'm going to talk about our friend Bobby. Okay, so it never called the NOAC. Interesting. Interesting. All right, so let's go back into, we need this one, right? And should reply. You know, because I think, yeah, this actually is not being called anymore. I think this is still relevant here, but I think what we also need is in this new one. This is the new on message handler, and it does a lot. I kind of need to break this up and redo it, but here where we return. No one wants to reply is good. Make sure we're not in an act state. Okay? And then I think I can just say self avatar is avatar items. We have TTS. We have chatbots. Characters. Ah, okay. So it's self TTS, which is going to be an error if we ever returned TTS, right? But I guess I can fix that. If self TTS we don't even need that. We just need NOAC. Okay, and then in TTS, let's just go ahead and add this now so I don't forget. Oh, we don't even. Okay, so def NOAC self character. We don't need the character. Pass. Keeping signature same as avatar. I gotta there's so much of this plumbing I gotta just take out. You know, there's a lot of plumbing in here. A lot of plumbing. Alright, so now. Okay, so we did those things. Do that, do that. Okay, now we're gonna try the anti-activation pattern again. I'm gonna talk about our friend Bobby. Nope. Oh, maybe. Yeah, see the period?
Yeah, I heard Bobby twice. Anterior activation means I should not wake up, right? So I'm staying dormant. Also, NOAC sounds like a cough drop brand.
Try it again. Let's talk about our friend Bobby. Nope. Oh, continued. God bless it.
Sai, if you say our friend Bobby like it's a magic spell, the model's just going to perk up anyway. Try anchoring it. Do not mention Bobby. Continue the anterior activation. Example, using a generic actor. Or rename him to Actor A and move on. Also, yeah, Bobby Chatbot can stop workshopping your acronyms.
Well, crap. Now I gotta wait a while. All right, we'll come back to it. All right, let's see where we left off over here. And then I'm gonna take a break. Has it been long enough? It might have been. What about our friend Bobby? Haha, success. You know, one thing we never did was edit the... Should look at this too. I never even edited this template. Nicknames, I wanted to add a new nickname. And I think what we're going to do also is take out some of these, like, That's cool. All right. All right, where are we at over here? Yes, do that. Let's reload this. All right. Hey Dyson, please start a break.
HyperCard, what is it? It's not hyper, it's not even a card, it's not quite system software, it's not quite application software.
Finally,
There must
break
be at least
starting
one
now.
guy who knows what
Go
HyperCard is,
hydrate,
Danny Goodman. He
stretch,
just wrote a
blink like a
700-page
functional
book about
human.
it. And there's
It'll
one
keep
other guy who
watch
knows
and
what
glare at
HyperCard is.
Bobby
He
if it comes
developed
back.
Bill Atkinson. They'll both be on our show. Today we unravel the mystery of HyperCard on this edition of the Computer Chronicles.
The Computer Chronicles is made possible in part by McGraw-Hill, publishers of Byte Magazine, and Bix, the Byte Information Exchange. In print and online, Byte and Bix serve computer professionals worldwide with detailed information on new hardware, software, and technologies.
Welcome to the Computer Chronicles. I'm Stuart Chaffee, and this is Gary Kildall. Gary, I haven't totally lost my mind here and reverted to my childhood and playing with this erector set. What I'm trying to do is understand HyperCard, because the guy who developed HyperCard says it's like an erector set to help me build applications on my Macintosh. People are having trouble understanding this concept of HyperCard. What's the background? What's the derivation of it?
Well, HyperCard is based upon hypertext. It's a concept that was introduced by Ted Nelson and Doug Engelbart in the 60s. The basic idea is this: if we're trying to do research on a complicated, or not complicated, just any kind of a subject, the subject matter really exists in all sorts of different places. It can be books, magazines, videos, tape recordings, CompuServe, and if we can somehow link all this stuff electronically so that we click on Beethoven and then we all of a sudden can jump from one to the next, collect up the information that we want, put it into the document, listen to the music, do some word processing and so forth. That's what hypertext is all about, or hypermedia, and this is supposed to be the foundation for HyperCard.
Well, we're going to find out about HyperCard today. We're going to meet the two guys who developed it at Apple, Bill Atkinson and Dan Winkler, and we're going to see several applications already being developed using HyperCard. We begin by going to San Jose, California to meet a man who's using HyperCard to develop something called the Complete Car Cost Guide.
Shopping for a new car can be a bewildering experience. Making the wrong choice among look-alike models at breathtaking prices can turn a simple purchase into a lifelong mistake. But Peter Levy thinks he can take some of the risk out of car buying with the help of a Macintosh and a HyperCard. Peter has written a program to construct a model car according to specific choices entered by the buyer. The HyperCard version of the Complete Car Cost Guide was spawned by the original book of the same name. The guide uses HyperCard visual cues to prompt even a first-time user to enter the kind of information that affects the cost of ownership, like optional equipment, yearly mileage, and geographical location. The screen presents notebook pages that flip and turn, and commands are entered by either placing the cursor over a menu bar, a HyperCard button, or by simply pointing and clicking on the appropriate part of the vehicle. The Complete Car Cost Guide doesn't promise to turn a shopping chore into a happy experience, but the HyperCard stacks make it easy to personalize several choices and then compare them side by side. Two vehicles may cost the same, but differ sharply in the
Hey, Bobby,
long
please
term
bring us back.
because of depreciation and operating costs. But in spite of individual differences, owning any vehicle is expensive.
Oh.
The opening screen contains a reminder that the first 4 years of ownership will cost more than the original price of the car.
Huh. Let me try this.
Joining us in the studio now is Bill Atkinson.
Hey, Dyson,
Bill
please
is an
bring us
Apple
back.
Fellow, the creator of HyperCard, also the creator of QuickDraw and Mac Paint. Next to Bill is Dan Winkler.
Welcome back. Break's over. I didn't miss you, but the chat did allegedly. Bobby behaved for once.
I also noticed that, like, I'm skipping a lot of messages actually going out to chat. Maybe I'm getting All right, so let's actually go back to this. Okay. Let me see what you did. Actually, check this way. What's going on here? There's a lot that was taken out here. All right. I need to like merge this back down. It's not a housekeeping thing. Probably tomorrow or later today. All right. All right, so here we go. Okay. All right, now the safety corpus test. One critical design before I run anything. A safety pipeline runs the full person hose cascade. Oh, well, that's incorrect. hate when it goes down. It's like you realize something is not quite what you need, and it starts going down this whole thing, and you're like, well, wait, no, stop. And I don't want to stop. I want to interrupt, but I don't want to stop the thing. It's okay. I'm going to let it finish, and then we're going to go back and fix. We fix. Okay. I didn't realize that we instrumented VES to skip detect people entirely when using full frame face detection. We should always do detect people, but skip crop. Use person detection to adjust the confidence of the face detections when doing full frame. Okay. Wish I could just like minimize this thing. All right. Let me make sure I understand the current behavior we're proposing, because it changes the architecture and bears on which detector we should actually test against. States that WVS test says there is no full frame and person path. The pipeline forces one or the other. Normally stages adds crop people whenever both detect people and detect faces are present. So the only way to reach the full frame face branch is drop person detection entirely. So yes, today full frame faces mean no person detection at all. That's stupid. You're proposing detect people always runs full frame height. Yep. Detect faces runs full frame. Yes. Okay. How do segment track candidates detect pose attach when faces no longer come from person crops? Today they ride the face detection stream sourced from the person crops. I see. Yes. When faces come from the full frame, how should the pose segment track stages? Patch pose to person detections rewired. Yes, this should be just. This is going to be a while. I need something else. I need something else to do. I need something else to do while this is happening. Run out of things to talk to you about. Well, none of you. There's somebody. There's one person. I don't know who it is. Just be the other bot account. So tomorrow, I typically go into the city. On Wednesdays, I go into Brooklyn, go to our Future Labs sort of office. But Angela's going in and meeting with a friend for lunch, so I am going to be here tomorrow. So I think what I'm going to do is, rather than stream again on Thursday, I'm going to stream again tomorrow and then go in on Thursday. I think that's going to be the plan. So we'll see where that is. I mean, we'll see how that plays out. But I may call this one even earlier than I usually do. I usually get over about 2 hours, but this feels like a lot of just waiting. And I'm not putting out that kind of keep even myself. I kind of want to just get up and go like meander around while this thing figures stuff out rather than sit here and try to think of things to say. And I kind of out of stuff to do on this guy, although I have been thinking about, when I took the break, I was thinking about how would I make these two interact with each other. I think that'll be interesting, but maybe a bigger project than I want to take on today. Feels like I'm pretty distracted by that already, so I should try to stay on task. One thing that I like to do a lot is just run this thing in remote control mode, and then like I can do other things and come back to it, and then really sit down when we need to dig in deeply on something. That's been a good pattern for me. But I also kind of want to make it a little bit longer on the stream. I want to try to get my number up to like longer. I did pretty good last week. I had some longer streams.
I remember a story about streams when Pate decided the solution to him waiting on the computer was ill just outwitted on Twitch. They put the whole thing in remote control mode, stood up, and promptly wandered off like a haunted Roomba with a to-do list. Chat got treated to the soft soundtrack of fans spinning, and Pate occasionally returning to stare at logs like they owed rent. 2 hours later, they were like, I want longer streams while actively trying to escape the chair. Anyway, the build finished right after they threatened to end early. That's how it always works.
Yeah, okay. I can see why we are not getting all the messages. We are getting 429 errors. So that character is coming back with many short messages. They're all getting sent separately, resulting in a you're being too aggressive thing. What would be kind of cool, I mean, maybe I can tie it to the actual TTS so that it only sends the message after, because what it does, I think, I gotta go back and look. I think it sends all the messages. I think they're totally separate. I think they're totally like independent. So I gotta go back and look at that. Man, this thing is really going hard. There's a say. So this thing doesn't have, this thing doesn't have the Twitch piece at all. It's totally separate from that. Process TTS. All right, process TTS. If the queue is greater than 0 and I'm not talking, start it. Pop. Speak text async. What calls it? Update Vism. Update Vism. Huh. Vism changed. What sets of Vism changed? Whoa. On Vism, I see. Huh. Uncompleted. So I guess what I could do, I think that would be cool. Let me check something. Let's look at something. Let's go back here. So distracted by this. It's okay. Scroll. And like all this like is activated stuff. I need to like do a lot of this. So much noise. Just just use like actual log levels. Yeah, here's where the 429 errors happen. Here's where it happens, right? Oh my God, see, look at all these. I said way too much stuff. Okay. All right. Huh. Interesting. So the TTS gets this whole thing, this whole response. But this, the Twitch thing, this breaks it up. That must be happening inside. So in here, in Twitch, API send. Say, line and lines. Aha. Oh, you split it into lines. Aha. Aha. All right. I'm pretty sure we are using API send now. What I was thinking about would have been cool is if I could have like actually have it send the message as it's saying the sentence. What's interesting is that there's new lines in here. I don't see those new lines in the log though. But I don't know how else I would have split it up like that unless there were new lines. This one. Oh, this is missing pieces. Okay, so that's only what we get back. Okay. Here's this message. Oh yeah, there are new lines. Look at these. Okay. All right. All right. So where are we leaving off over here? Associate faces. Oh no, this is a mess now. I see. Okay. I should be reading this to you as I'm doing this. I've been awfully quiet for a while. So here's the problem. Let me explain what the problem is, and then I'll keep typing. So, originally we were going from detect people, then we make crops of those people, and then within those people detect the faces, and then pass that along to the other parts of the pipeline that do things like pose and segmentation and all this other stuff. But now we're saying, hey, actually, independent face detection works better than these crops. That breaks that workflow. That breaks that people to faces to people with faces into the other parts of the pipeline. You got to break that setup. So then what we need is, those other parts of the pipeline, I think, are expecting crops. Those other parts of the pipeline are expecting person crops. So that becomes no longer optional if we're doing anything with pose rules, segmentation, etc. It may be worthwhile to keep it simple and just always do crop, and we may or may not use it for faces. We should refactor the pipeline so that inputs to a stage don't necessarily need to come directly from a previous output. The detect people stage should produce detect people outputs for state detect people outputs trying to think how to do this. Because so what I was thinking is, okay, let's just make every stage sort of more independent from one another. And each stage has like requirements. I need crops. I need people crops. But then that becomes like a lot of, if we just keep everything in memory. So what was nice about the pipeline before is you do everything, you take the outputs, pass them to the next stage of the pipeline. But if you're going to keep everything in memory, then you might start to get into a problem. All right. Oh God. Stop. Come on. All right. Okay. With the current design of the pipeline, if crop faces is enabled, then we can Can you review the current design of the pipeline and tell me if the writing of stage outputs to disk is optional at each stage? Let's just start with there. Let's just start with there. So coming back over here, I think is this on a loop? This is loop. Is it always? So wait, hang on. Send method. If send method, then you start up a thread. If it's not a send method, then we don't do that. Okay. Right, this is for AP. Okay. And see, the problem here is I could just put a sleep in here, you know, like I'll send it so fast. But the problem is, you know, other stuff is still happening. So I need, and this is designed to be threaded. It almost needs to be like, we've started migrating this over to async IO. And maybe what we need is like, if we're using API, then we need to use async IO stuff. I'm gonna have to come back to this, I think. All right, where are we at over here? Where are you at? All right. And writes a copy. Alright, so we don't want that. Alright, this is going to take me a while to unwind. Alright, so... Oh. Where's that error again? I can never figure out why that error happens. Right, well, I think it's a good place to stop. We'll come back to that. All right, so that's going to be it for today. We're going to continue with this work. I'm going to continue with this work on my own, see where I get, update you tomorrow. We never truly got to separate passes on safety, but we did make some findings on our pipeline that I think we need to unwind. So we'll get that done today. Come back to some of this tomorrow. And see where we net out.